Google is not a search engine. And this seems to be a very odd claim because people go to Google to search. People perform searches to find things on Google. But I'll say this, Google is not a search engine. I'll actually say that Google is a popularity management tool. When you type things in Google, when you go to Google to find information, when Google returns results, they're sorted. They're pre-sorted based on Google's perception of their popularity on the internet. And you know what? Popularity is an important way to measure the relevance of a website, how important it is or how informative it is. Popularity is an interesting measure, but it may not be the one you want in an academic setting. So that's a very first important point. Secondly, popularity can be played with, can be tampered with. And Google, because it uses mathematical algorithms, because it has a artificial intelligence in a way in the background trying to organize this information, if you understand the way Google thinks, you can actually tinker with Google results. And let me give you an example. Actually, my favorite example, I will Google myself. So I'm going to type Olivier Charbonneau, which is me, right? And see what happens. Now, the first hit you get is from Wikipedia. Now, don't worry. It's not my Wikipedia entry. I don't have a Wikipedia entry. Olivier Charbonneau is my ancestor who came to Montreal, actually to Laval, in 1657. Or was it 1659. First came to Canada. And for a very long time, I've been battling my ancestor for the top position in Google. And you can see here that the Wikipedia entry on my ancestor wins. But the second entry is my website here at Concordia University. Third entry is me at the library. And the fourth entry is my blog, Culture Libre, which I've been keeping up for the past 6-7 years. I blog about copyright, digital life in French. And then the fifth hit is him again, my ancestor from the Charbonneau family website. Believe it or not, Charbonneau, there are a lot of Charbonneaus in Quebec, but that's another story, I suppose. So point being, when I was trying to figure out a way to beat or to gain the pole position, the top position in Google, one thing I did was to, on my university website, to create this whole complex website based on data that I created with a program to fool Google in thinking that this website, my website at the library, at the university, was extremely elaborate and discussed multiple topics. And that shot up my website up on top. Now, Google claims to use over 2 million variables to determine the relevance or popularity of a website. And if you start understanding how that works, you can try to pop up your website higher up on Google. And a lot of companies do that. There's a whole industry in a field called search engine optimization to make sure that your website ranks high on Google. So what does Google do? Google tries to look at the website's linking to your page, the pages you link from your web page to the internet. It also looks at what is your domain. So is it a .com, .edu, .ca, .gc.ca? So it tries to evaluate what the website is about. In the case of my first website, it's on the concordia.ca domain, and Google knows that's a university, so it ranks it that much higher because it's more relevant than any other .ca. It has that pre-qualified ranking from the get-go. So my point here is that Google uses popularity, uses this measure of how important a website is based on all the other links it has from and to and around it. So if you want to think about it, Google is a thermometer that measures how popular a website is. Now, popularity is a great measure. It's a great tool to use on the web because there's just so much information out there. But what I'm going to say here is that you have to look for something different in an academic setting, in a university setting. Your professors are looking for a different measure of relevance. What they're looking for is authority. They're looking for authoritative sources in your paper. And whether or not Google yields you authoritative sources from the get-go is actually an interesting debate. There are authoritative sources out there on the internet that you can find, but Google doesn't quite think in terms of authority. So you have to be vigilant about the things that you get, about the results that you get. Are they popular or are they authoritative? So, when you're looking for pictures of, stars who are doing different things, or cute pictures of cats, or whatever you do on the internet, Pokemon characters, I don't know what. Popularity is fine. But when you're looking for criticism about the prospects in the aerospace industry, I don't know, you have to kind of be careful about what you do in Google and how you generate authoritative links, because Google is defined as a popularity engine. Okay, so I'm not telling you not to use Google. I'm not telling you to use it. I'm telling you, when you're in Google, think about popularity versus authority. Okay. And actually, I'll be getting into these points later on, but I'll actually claim that the library aims to provide you authoritative sources, so you actually may be using your time a little bit better if you start at the library and then complement Google, your searching with Google.